figurative language is a literary technique that really adds to writing. So figurative language is figures of speech that create a more dramatic effect or make a greater impact. And there's all kinds of them. There's idioms, similes, metaphors, symbols, personification, zoomorphism, and hyperbole. The example to the right, cat got your tongue, is actually an idiom, which is a common phrase that some people would recognize that explains how someone might not be speaking as if someone like a cat is holding their tongue. So John Steinbeck, in Of Mice and Men, uses a lot of figurative language, but we're really going to focus on, for section 1, similes and zoomorphism. So remember that similes are a comparison of two things using like or as. In the first example, on the sandbanks, the rabbits sat as quietly as little gray sculptured stones. The simile is comparing how the rabbits sat quietly to little gray sculptured stones, like they didn't move or make any noise at all. And the comparison is using as. The second one, his huge companion dropped his blankets and flung himself down and drank from the surface of the green pool, drank with long gulps, snorting into the water like a horse. In this example, it's about Lenny and how he's drinking the water, gulping and snorting like, keyword there, a horse. Steinbeck also uses a figurative language technique called zoomorphism, and this is when animal or bird characteristics are assigned to humans or to something that is not an animal or a bird. It's kind of like personification, but it's done with animals. There's 3 examples below. All 3 examples are about Lenny. He walked heavily, dragging his feet a little the way a bear drags his paws. Now, Lenny's not a bear, but he's being compared to a bear. He drank with long gulps, snorting into the water like a horse. Again, Lenny is not a horse, but he's being given this quality of gulping and snorting like a horse. And the final one, Lenny dabbled his big paw in the water and wiggled his fingers so the water arose in little splashes. In this one, his hand is being called a paw. Lenny is a human being, not an animal, but Steinbeck describes it as a paw. So it's curious as to why Steinbeck consistently, and even further into the novel, continues to use zoomorphism when he's describing, and particularly, Lenny. So we went through a couple of figurative language techniques, similes and zoomorphism. Similes comparing two things with like or as, and zoomorphism giving the quality of animals or birds to something that is not an animal or a bird.